It's not all about the win, folks. Sometimes we just have to be human and help out the opponents. The guys we've chosen for you take the meaning kindness to a whole new level. As an example, we have a guy that had to tell the ref to stop the match so his opponent didn't get hurt, and another tapped out just to prevent his opponent from getting beaten into a pulp. If you want to see the rest, here we have the 12 greatest examples of true sportsmanship. Let's dive right in, shall we? Number 12, refusing to take the beating. We all think boxing is a ruthless sport where people beat each other senselessly until one is victorious. But hold your horses, buckaroo. It's not always that simple. For example, in this one match where Mike Pantanago was up against Jeremy Rasser, Mike showed enormous kindness and humanity. Even though he was winning and Razor could barely walk when Mike was done with him, he decided to stop the fighting and hand the match over to Rasser. Why did he do this? Well, it's because he didn't want to keep beating a guy and get nothing in return. Since neither of them would get any money from the fight, Mike thought he'd stop the unnecessary fighting, even if it cost him the match. Wow. Number 11, helping your fellow runner out. During the Okbekbe 10-kilometer race, one of the contestants was having a rough time at the end. It seemed like he bit off a little more than he could chew. Near the finish line, the man couldn't feel his feet. He could barely even stand, but he never stopped moving. When he couldn't walk, he crawled. When he couldn't even crawl, he rolled, and that's when one of the competitors helped him out. Many of the others just passed by him while he was rolling on the floor, hoping to get to the finish line. But only one had the courage and kindness to stop, pick his fellow contestant up, and cross the finish line together. Sometimes it's more important to help a brother out. Number 10, giving the bat to a little fan.
Remember now, during the warm-ups, everybody wants to see the grade 8, and there's a souvenir, I believe it.
Hockey has been known to attract some raving fans of all ages. This is just one example of what it means to be a good player. Here, we aren't talking about being good at playing hockey, but making a young fan smile from ear to ear while smashing that like button if you haven't done that already. Ovechkin thought he'd surprise one of his fans by giving him a special gift. It was his hockey bat. While they were cheering Ovechkin on, he just stopped near the glass and slipped the kids his very own hockey bat. The kid couldn't believe it. His father quickly took the bat and gave it to his son. From the look on his face, you know this kid is not going to forget this day for as long as he lives. Number 9, stopping the kick. We said that boxing is bad, but how about kickboxing? The sport where fighters use both their arms and legs. And these two Asian girls are pretty fiery. Well, one of them is, the other one was just receiving the fire. Anyhow, the girl beat her competitor into a pulp, and after seeing all the kicking and smashing, the referee decided to stop the fight. Talk about timing. Just 1 second later, and the contestant would have been knocked out with a leg kick to the head. Thank God for her lightning-quick reflexes. Number 8, Federer couldn't beat a child. In order to get more kids playing tennis, they decide to let children play with some of the biggest names in the sport. And this is exactly how Cruz Hewitt got to play against Roger Federer and basically beat him. That's right, this little kid, whose racket is bigger than his body, managed to beat Federer. Even though you could clearly see Roger was going easy on him, it still made for one hell of a video. Number 7, the man gave his shoes for the fans. While signing a bunch of autographs to his youngest and most loyal fans, one of the kids asked Seti if he could give him his shoes. The athlete just looked at him and said, after the match. And he wasn't lying. Right after the match, when he walked past the kids he signed autographs to, he took off his shoes, gave one to each of them, and signed each of them. That's one hell of a sports memorabilia. Number 6. William Waugh supported when Lisicki needed it. When Lisicki sprained her ankle during a match and she couldn't play anymore, Serena Williams was there to console her. The player began crying in the middle of the game, so Serena came and comforted her. She said that she can't really watch people suffer, so that's why she couldn't just stand there while the opponent was having a mental breakdown. She went in and did her best to guide her through it. Number 5. MEEHAN told the ref to stop the fight. This is a great example of what a ref shouldn't do during a boxing match. The fight was between Willis MEEHAN and Limi Tato. MEEHAN was much quicker and landed more shots than Tato, but that doesn't mean he wanted to. While he had him in the corner and was pummeling his opponent, he kept looking at the referee, begging him to stop the fight so Tato wouldn't need to have his ass kicked for nothing. When he finally decided to stop the match, MEEHAN gave the ref one of the deadliest eye stares. We bet he thought about punching the ref in the corner there for allowing that to happen for so long. Number 4. The hijab came off. During a female soccer game, one of the team's members was Muslim. Therefore, she had to be wearing a hijab covering her face. In one quote-unquote brawl with the team, her hijab came off, and she immediately fell to the floor covering her face. Seeing what their teammate was doing, all of the girls surrounded her, so no one would see her face, and she could fix the hijab with no worries. Now that's teamwork. Number 3. Ike Williams stops the fight. This is one of the oldest fights in boxing history that's actually been recorded. These two featherweight champions, Bo Jack and Ike Williams, were in for the battle of their lives. While Williams was winning, he managed to squeeze Bo Jack in the corner of the ring and just keep pummeling him. When he saw that his opponent was getting beaten for no apparent reason, he stopped the fight and asked the ref to stop the match. You could still see the anger in his face. Number 2. Ronaldo made his fan cry. This is just one example of the numerous ones we've found online. It seems like jumping the fence and going to the middle of the field to take a selfie with your favorite athlete is going a bit too far, but not for this guy. This guy went in, took a photo with Cristiano Ronaldo, and then allowed security to escort him out. The icing on the cake was when the camera zoomed in on his face, you could see the guy was crying tears of joy. He just met his idol in person. How would you react? Number 1. Pulling an opponent's tongue out. When athletes try to prevent the opposing team to score, they would do almost anything they can to stop the goal. This one player decided to bounce the ball off his head and into the crowd, but managed to knock himself unconscious. Thankfully, one of his opponents saw him fall to the floor and immediately went down to see what happened. Apparently, this guy swallowed his tongue. Without hesitation, this guy shoved his hand in the player's mouth and pulled out his tongue, preventing him from suffocating and saving his life. Now that is what we call courage. And on that note, we end this video. But hey, do you know any other videos of true sportsmanship? You can tell us in the comments section below. If you'd like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.